Hello, my name's Gabriel and I have what they call schizophrenia. Today I want to talk about how I traveled the country with schizophrenia. If you don't already know, I'm 25 years old. I have schizophrenia. I live in Canada, Ontario to be specific. I just got back from a trip to Vancouver, British Columbia. And I want to say that if you want to travel and you have schizophrenia, you can do this. There's a lot of things you can do. You can drive, depending on how bad your schizophrenia is. You can get on a plane. It doesn't matter. If you want to do something, don't let people tell you can't do it. One time I had someone tell me that I told them I wanted to be a transport driver, or it'd be a cool job that I would enjoy doing. And they told me, well, you have schizophrenia, so you can't. And that person didn't know the laws. I can drive with schizophrenia. There's nothing illegal about driving with schizophrenia. There's nothing illegal about flying with schizophrenia. I was on a plane yesterday, and I just got back from Vancouver, British Columbia, where I was traveling. I traveled to BC, and I spent about 10 or 11 days there with my friend. And we had a really good time. And I just want to say, if you have schizophrenia, you can travel, man. If you want to travel, don't let anyone tell you you can't. I once had a doctor tell me that I wasn't allowed to travel and that traveling was a privilege. And luckily my mom was there, and she told the doctor that I'm going on this trip. And ever since that trip in 2018, I've been traveling on and off. And I just want to say, if there's something you want to do, you can do it. I've been on 5 flights in the last 2 weeks. I flew from my town to Toronto, then Toronto to Winnipeg, then Winnipeg to Vancouver. Then on the way back, I flew from Vancouver to Toronto, then Toronto to my town. And yeah, it was fun. But the point of this video is just to let you know that you can do what you want to do, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I really enjoy traveling. It's one of my favorite things, and I think my biggest fear is not being able to get a passport. I know I can get a passport, but I think of scenarios that would stop me from being able to get a passport, and it bugs me because I just want to get that passport so I can leave the country. And if I never got a passport in this life, man, that would really bug me, because I want to travel the world. And if I couldn't get a passport and I couldn't travel the world, I mean, I guess I would just travel Canada all the time. But, you know, I want to grow outside of Canada. I want to be able to go to the UK, the US, maybe some Asian countries, some European countries, maybe Mexico. I want to be able to do those things, and I know I can. It's not about schizophrenia. But the point of this video is to let you know that you can travel with schizophrenia. Just make sure you're well enough to be able to enjoy your trip. And yeah, I've been on about 25 flights since 2018. The first plane ride I flew was from my town to Toronto, then Toronto to Kelowna, which is in BC. That was in 2018. And since then, I've been on about 25 flights. Not 25 trips, but 25 flights, because when you're traveling out west, since I'm in a small town, I always have to stop in Toronto or Vancouver. So that adds up. But I've been on probably 5 trips out of the province since 2018. And don't let anyone tell you you can't travel. That's the point. There's other things you can do with schizophrenia too. You can drive. A lot of people think you can't drive with schizophrenia, but there's loads of people with schizophrenia who can drive. And that's another important thing to take note is, yeah, you can get your driver's license with schizophrenia. You're a human being. It's your right. Just don't let people tell you you can't do the things you want to do, because you can. So yeah, I traveled to Vancouver. I'll tell you about my trip. So we flew in. I got off the plane, grabbed my luggage. We went to the Airbnb. We spent time there. I went and checked out the beach. What's it called? English Bay. It's in northern Vancouver, I think. There's palm trees. And I thought that was cool. palm trees in Canada. It was amazing. I had Starbucks coffee. We went to the mall a couple times. But yeah, it was an amazing trip, and I'm glad I went. I'm kind of sad that I had to leave British Columbia, but I guess trips always have to end, right? I would live in BC if I could, but my health care is here in Ontario. But one of these days, when I can afford it, I'll move to British Columbia, and yeah, there's other places I want to travel. Like I said, I want to go to the UK at some point. I definitely want to go to the US, and that's another thing. I went to the US border about a week and a half ago. We took an Uber down to, I think it's called White Rock in British Columbia, and we looked at the Washington border, and we could see Washington, and there was drones flying over the water with giant spotlights. I guess they were looking for people trying to sneak into the US or Canada. It was pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. It was cool being that close to the US, but like I said, I don't have a passport yet, so just I couldn't cross the border. I could only look at it, and it hit me that I needed a passport. I really want to go to the US, because my dad's from the US, and when I was a kid, I didn't need a passport to go to the US. I could just cross with my birth certificate. But now that I'm an adult and I still don't have proof of my US citizenship, I can't enter the US until I get a passport, which sucks, but it is what it is, and I need to save up money to get a passport, so I'm gonna do that soon, and then I'll be able to go to the US and the UK and Mexico and some warm countries. I want to go to some warm countries, like maybe Spain, maybe India at some point. That'd be cool. I don't really have a desire to go to Australia, but I might go sometime. It's just, it's a long flight. It's like 18 hours, I think, from Toronto to Sydney. But yeah, there's a lot of places I want to visit, and I know I'm capable of doing it. Schizophrenia doesn't stop me from traveling. I can travel, and you can too. Even if you have schizophrenia or bipolar or any of these what they call disorders, you can still travel. You can still do what you want to do in life. But yeah, that's the point in this video, just to remind you that you can do what you want to do. Just be a good person. Help people when you can, and very first, help yourself, because if you're unwell and you're watching this and you want to live like a good life, help yourself first. You can't help other people without helping yourself. So make sure you help yourself, and then you can start helping other people, and that's what's important. So if you enjoyed this video at all, hit the subscribe button. Like I said, I'm trying to save for a passport, so that way I can travel other countries, and I know you can do it too. So yeah, my name's Gabriel, and I have what they call schizophrenia. Have a good day.